Good morning to one and all. Class 1, today we are going to start with chapter number 12. You can all open your books to chapter number 12, the name of which is Transportation and Communication. Children, what do we mean by the term transportation and communication? Transportation talks about things which allow us to move from one place to another. Communication talks about how we talk or convey messages from one place to another, to one from one person to another. So let us begin with our activity. Fill in the missing letters to get the names of vehicles. What do you think this is? Yes, it is a cycle, car, then this is a bus, an aeroplane, and a train. These are things that you already know about, right? You see, we have to go from one place to another. We go on foot to our nearby places. Let us learn about some more means of transport. Sometimes we use vehicles to go to another place. These vehicles are called means of transport. Different means of transport are used to travel on land, water, and air. Let us talk about land transport. Let me show you a picture from your book which shows different types of land transport. You can see vehicles like car, auto rickshaw, scooter, motorcycle, and a bus, right? So let us talk about them. Uh, While moving on the roads, you've often seen vehicles roam around on the land, right? There are different types of vehicles. There are vehicles with two wheels, like the cycle, the bicycle, the scooter, the motorcycle, the scooty. Then you have three-wheelers like the auto rickshaw and the cycle rickshaw. And you have four-wheelers such as the car, the bus, the truck, etc. There is another type of land transport, which is the biggest of all land transport, which is the train, right? A train has many carriages and many wheels. And you also know that in olden times, people used a bullock cart in small villages. Even now, you will see many bullock carts being used in rural areas. Let us talk about water transport. Under water transport, we have two main categories, which are the ship and the boat. Of course, there is also the submarine, which goes completely inside the water. Then you have air transport, where you have two main types of air transport, which is the aeroplane and the helicopter. And you all must be knowing that there are so many types of aeroplanes. You have the Airbus, you have the fighter planes, and so many types of planes and other types of helicopters as well. Children, do you know that all types of vehicles have engines? And in engine, you use a fuel. This fuel can be petrol, it can be diesel, or it can be gas. Okay, so when do we use these different types of means of transport? For short distances, we use road transport such as cars, buses, bicycles, rickshaws, auto rickshaws, motorcycles, scooters, and tongas. And when we have to travel far of places, we use trains, boats, ships, aeroplanes, helicopters, and sometimes even buses. Let us now talk about the different means of communication. Do you know that in olden days, many, many years ago, when there were kings who used to rule the countries, people used to send messages through other people or through pigeons from one place to another. It's very interesting how if you tie a letter on a pigeon, it will take it to its destination. When we talk or write to someone, it is known as communication. We communicate with a person to share our ideas and thoughts. The ways in which we use to communicate others are known as means of communication. There are different means of communication. Let us learn about them. There are the individual means of communication, and then there is the mass communication. Individual means of communication are those in which one person is interacting with another person. As you can see on the screen, This communication is done between two people, the sender and the receiver. And the receiver, like it can be telephone, fax machine, a computer, like you send an email. So these are all different types of individual communication. Let us talk about mass communication. Under mass communication, news or any information can be given to a large number of people at the same time through mass communication. Newspapers, magazines, radio, television, these are all examples of mass communication. Then you also have social networking sites such as Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, which allow you to communicate with large number of people at the same time. So all means of communication are useful in their own ways. Together, they help us to keep in touch with our relatives, friends, and the world. Let us recall the chapter once again. We use different means of transport to travel from one place to another. We use different vehicles to travel on land, air, and water. We use cars, buses, bicycles, rickshaws, auto rickshaws, motorcycles, scooters, and tongas to travel short distances. When we have to travel far, we use buses, trains, boats, ships, aeroplanes, and helicopters. We communicate with people to share our ideas and thoughts. Telephone, letters, fax machine, email, etc. are individual means of communication. Television, newspaper, magazines, radio, social networking sites, etc. are the means of mass communication. So, with this, we come to the end of our chapter. I hope the simple chapter was easy on all of you and that you've understood the different means of transport and communication. Thank you and have a great day ahead.